Hello everyone, it's Heather and I'm here with you with an interesting room tour of actually 2 rooms, and now I forgot the name of the hotel. It'll be in the title, but it's a Hampton Inn & Suites and it's in Irvine, California, and it's very, very close to John Wayne Airport or Santa Ana Airport. What do you think that was?
It was a 4-minute drive.
It was like less than half a mile. We could have walked here, except it's raining. Because, it does rain in Southern California sometimes. This is a very nice hotel. It's much bigger than I was expecting.
Yeah.
We're on the 5th floor. We have rooms 527 and 529. They are connecting rooms. However, we ran into what I was actually panicking. I haven't had connecting rooms that I was actually using the last time when we were at the Hilton Minneapolis, which I will link that room tour up here, in December. We had adjacent rooms, but they were not connecting. And so I have not had connecting rooms with my kids that I used both rooms. I don't know how long or ever. And the rooms, the way they're set up here, I understand why they're like this. It's for security of the people in each room. But if you have a party like us that wants to go back and forth, it doesn't work, and something really bad actually happened, and we had to get maintenance. So I'll tell you about that in a little bit. But first I'm going to show you both rooms. So this is a typical Hampton Inn & Suites. There's a parking lot, like you go past the front door and then the parking lot is behind the building. It seems like a nice, safe neighborhood here. It's like a business office park type area. Quiet. Customer service was very good. They greeted us when we came in. We had already checked in on the app and I'd already gotten digital key, but just because we had the 2 rooms, I decided to stop at the desk and they gave us a key card for each room as well. So because only I had the digital keys on my phone. And they welcomed us as Hilton, again, still very high gold status. I don't know what it's going to take for us to get to Diamond. I feel like we've been trying to get to Diamond forever. We've been at like the top. Yeah, we've been at like the top of gold forever. I don't know what the deal is. But anyway, we're at the very top of gold still. Every Hilton Honors member gets free water, or at least silver and above. And then we got 2 snacks per room. So they gave us snacks. We came to the room and right away we realized that the connecting doors were not what we were expecting and not what I was thinking. But let me show you the 2 rooms first, and then I will show you the problem with the doors. Okay, so first I will show you out in the hall. It is pretty late at night, so I'm going to be quiet. And we have this room here, 527, and we have this room here, 529. And we're only here for one night. And I think I paid around $350 for both rooms together. And it's an L-shaped hotel. Okay, so this room is 1 king bed with a sofa sleeper. Okay, they leave a card in here for you for power. This is the light for like right here. The building feels very clean and very new, but based on the furnishings and this door style, this is like a little bit older renovation style from the Hamptons that we've seen. So I don't know how new this building is. Okay, but there's a sliding door on a rail with the mirror, and the thing that we don't like about this is it can either cover the closet or cover the bathroom. And I've talked about this before. It's got a big full-length mirror. Here's the closet. There's an iron and an ironing board, and there's hangers and an extra blanket. Now, the luggage rack was in here, but this doorway is very narrow, and we couldn't get my suitcase in there to get it on the luggage rack, so we moved the luggage rack out here. So if you cannot have both the closet and the bathroom shut at the same time. But nice flooring and really nice bathroom. So it's pretty big. Nice big sink, lots of counter space, something I really like about Hamptons. Mirror, the light over it, plenty of towels. Neutrogena products like you get at all Hamptons. A toilet back in its own little corner. And I really appreciate this. There's a very nice walk-in shower. And there's 3 hooks. And it's really spacious in here. And then over here, there's a sink a little shelf under it. There's like this whole counter area with your ice bucket and cups. Then there's the TV on here, and underneath there's the coffee stuff and the microwave, and there's a fridge on this side, and then there's these metal pull-out drawer rack things on this side. And then there's a desk, which I'm just showing Megan briefly, is sitting in the desk chair. There's a desk where my stuff is sitting, okay? And then over around, we really like this picture. There is a sofa sleeper. It is a sofa sleeper, we checked. And it's got two of those rolly ottoman things, which in the other room, which I'll show you in a minute, they're tucked under there. But they roll, and you can move them around. We often put our luggage on those. Okay. There's a king size bed with a nightstand on both sides, and they have this pull out little shelf thing. And there is a phone on this side, and there are lamps on both sides, and this side also has the alarm clock. So that is this room. The view is nothing to write home about. See, it's just like an office kind of area. I don't even know if you can see that because of the reflection. And it is raining. Now I'm gonna take you over to 527. This room is 529. And I'm gonna tell you about the doors afterwards, okay? All right, now right away, one thing we noticed right away.
Subscribe.
Thank you, Ben. Is it's tighter. This hallway area is a lot narrower than the one over.
The bathroom, I think.
Yeah, the bathroom is smaller though. That bathroom's bigger. They still have the door on a rail.
Yeah, it is. That one's bigger.
That one's bigger. So I'm in like a suite.
Stupid.
Okay, but they have a tub. So they have a tub with a curved shower rod, whereas I have the walk-in shower. Again, the 3 hooks, but like.
Megan was thinking that yours is a handicap accessible.
Oh, that's a possibility. Say that again, man.
Megan was thinking that mom's room was a handicap accessible.
That's a very good point. He might be right about that, and that's why everything is so.
No, Megan might be right.
Oh yeah, that's like why everything is so spacious and the bathroom is so much bigger.
Okay.
So just everything in here is just a little bit smaller, but all the same amenities and stuff. Okay, then, yeah, they have all the same stuff, but like you can see, it's smaller this way. But they have 2 queen beds, so they'll each have their own bed, with a bigger nightstand thing in the middle with the phone, 1 lamp, alarm clock.
That's a lot of charging.
Ooh, that thing is kind of broken. So we're just gonna leave that there.
That's a lot of charging ports.
Oh yeah, there's charging ports and plugs all in the lamp. Okay, so, and then again, a desk on that end where Ben is sitting. Exact same view because it's right next door. And they have the exact same stuff, TV, microwave, coffee stuff, fridge, drawers. And see, they've got the 2 little ottoman thingies under there that they've put a suitcase on, and the sink. So 2 queen bedroom, king sofa sleeper room. Hector from maintenance had to come up, and this was his solution. The only way we can get back and forth is to keep the deadbolt open. And you can even see like it's dinged a little, like the people have done it before, but you don't want to let go of it and let it go because it's an automatic door and it shuts on its own. And the door is also really heavy. So also, if you are sharing this with kids, somebody could really seriously hurt themselves because they're heavy doors, they shut by themselves, and you could seriously get some fingers or something in there. Like even I'm nervous. So this is not what I was expecting, and it proved to be a very serious problem, which is why we had to get maintenance involved, because you can only open the door from the room that it opens into. You can't, I mean, right now we can because the deadbolt's open, but when that deadbolt isn't there, you cannot push this door open even if it's unlocked on the other side. So unless somebody is in both rooms, you cannot get from one room to the other. Okay, and then the other thing is, I've never seen connecting doors with an automatic door closer on it like that. In every other connecting room I've ever seen, you can open the door and just leave it open. And that was the first thing we discovered. We had a terrible time because the luggage was like all over there, and then we were trying to pass it through, but somebody had to be holding this door open, somebody had to be holding that door open, and then the third person had to be dragging the luggage across. So that's really strange to me. I mean, I understand they're making it more secure, but they're also making it very difficult. And the reason that people would want connecting rooms is so you can go back and forth between them easily. Okay, so what happened was the kids were over in their room, and all my stuff is over here, including my suitcase, the car key for the rental car, my purse with our passports in it, and all our money and all my credit cards. Everything was over here, okay? And I knocked on their door, I opened my door, knocked on their door, they let me in, and the door shut behind me. And in addition to that, I had locked the deadbolt, because we're in for the night. I had already locked the deadbolt and the extra inside secure lock thing, that flips on the main door that goes out into the hallway. So I could not, with my key or my digital key, go from the hallway back into this room because those locks were secured. I didn't even think about it when it first happened. I walked over there, I went into their room, my side of the connecting door automatically shut behind me. And then we were talking and doing stuff over there, and then I went to come back over into this room and realized I couldn't get in. I couldn't get in through the connecting door, and I couldn't get in through the hallway, and I was like, oh crap. And everything, all my stuff was in this room locked in here, and there was no way to get in here. And so I was pretty freaked out. At first I was just going to call the front desk, but I decided just to go down there and talk to someone at the front desk. And he was actually quite alarmed. Like, he didn't seem to think there was a way. He right away, because he was like, I don't know how you're going to get in. And I was freaking out because, I'm tired. First of all, I've been traveling all day, just got off a flight. It's late. We want to go to bed. But I'm also thinking, I'm getting on a cruise tomorrow and all my stuff is in the other room that I can't get into. So he called maintenance. He called the maintenance guy whose name was Hector. And Hector I came back up here. He said, just wait for him and he'll be up there in a minute. He came up. Well, he had a special little tool. He had a way to undo both locks from the hall. I don't know how he undid the deadbolt. It seemed like he had some kind of magnetic...
Which one's the deadbolt?
The one that you go like this.
Oh yeah, he had a magnet.
A magnet.
He had a little...
And then he had some kind of special tool to put in. So, scary, because that means that people could, if they had the same stuff he had, they could break into this room if they really wanted to.
I'm not actually sure if it was a magnet. It almost looked like a special ID.
Yeah, it might have been like a special kind of ID card that opened the deadbolt. And then he had a special, it looked like it was some kind of special tool.
It was just like a long L wrench?
No, an L wrench is way smaller. What he had was pretty sizable.
Yeah, but anyway, it looked like an L. And what he did was he stuck it through, he popped the door open as far as it would go, stuck the thing around the little flappy lock, and then pulled the door shut and pulled on the tool so that it would close.
Right. So, it was actually kind of I'm glad he has the tools, and I'm glad I didn't film him doing that, because I don't want to, teach anyone how to do it. But I'm hoping that the stuff that he had to open the door from the hall is something that only he has, and is maybe unique to this property or something. Okay, this thing. So this was out like this, and the deadbolt was switched. And it did sound like something kind of electronic or magnetic that he did that made this go down, okay? And then he had some kind of little tool to close that. Okay, so now I'm gonna, all right. But then I asked him, because these were, it's okay if I do this one right now. I'm not gonna do it, I'm so nervous now. Okay, but I said, isn't there any way, I feel like there must be some kind of little tool they might have for this or something, in an emergency. If they had to get through this door.
They just rip that over,
But the hinges are on the other side.
No, rip the full circle thing out, because that's a lock.
This is a big, thick door, though. I don't know. So anyway, but I said, isn't there any way to open this when the deadbolt wasn't thing from this side? And he said, no. And then he did the deadbolts like this and said, just leave it like that. Which I would never tell my kids to do that normally. Don't ever do that like on any other door. But this is the only way now that we can get through these doors. And again, the heaviness, the heaviness and the automatic closing makes this very dangerous and unsafe for fingers. So be really careful if you find yourself in this situation, and don't do what I did and walk over there and let this shut behind you and get locked out of your room.
Definitely don't get stuck in between them.
Yeah, no kidding.
A kid could get stuck in there, actually.
Yeah, they could. Somebody could actually get stuck in that space.
I'm sorry, but I feel like you should kind of report this a bit.
Yeah, he's not.
This is not.
He's not wrong. It isn't a big enough space. Like, kids could be goofing around, and somebody could get stuck in it. But as long as somebody was on one side, they could open it.
Still, if they don't know about it, they could suffocate.
But what if they like walk away and leave the kid there? That's, yeah.
There wouldn't be enough air.
A kid could get in there by itself.
Yeah.
When it's alone.
This is not a good design.
Oh, should we just...
Hilton, let's fix this. This is not good. So, can any of you tell me if you stay in rooms, in hotel situations with connecting rooms, is this normal? Is this how they are now? Because I understand it from a security standpoint. If we're not, parties that are together, that makes sense. But for a group like us where we are together and we want to be able to go back and forth, this door setup makes no sense at all and isn't safe in several ways. So, yeah, that was a very scary, stressful little adventure we had when we got here to our hotel, and I don't want that to happen again. I'd really like to know what you guys think about this, and if you've seen this type of door setup before where you can't get from one side to the other. It doesn't make any sense to me. For the whole reason you have connecting rooms is so that you can go back and forth between the two rooms without having to go in the hallway. So I don't understand it, and it really made our night kind of long and stressful. But anyway, that was our room tour here. Otherwise, the property is very nice, and the people who work here are terrific, but I don't like that door setup at all. Good morning from the Hampton Inn and Suites in Irvine, California, very close to the John Wayne Airport. We stayed here last night. We arrived very late. It was dark and it was raining, but now that it's morning, I can see palm trees, which I haven't seen, in a couple months since I was in Florida. And I can also see some really cool mountains in the distance. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. If you guys thought this was interesting or liked this video at all, please give us a thumbs up. And like Ben said earlier, please subscribe if you haven't already. Have a great day, everyone, and safe travels.